Hi, everybody, and welcome to Houston, where tonight the Atlanta Braves open up a 3-game series with the Houston Astros. I'm Pete Van Wieren, along with Joe Simpson, welcoming you inside the Astrodome. Braves fresh from taking 2 out of 3 from the St. Louis Cardinals to start out this trip. Houston just getting back off a 3-game road trip. They were swept 3 games by the Cincinnati Reds. And, Joe, the Astros expecting a lot of success this year in the Central Division. Sort of up and down for them so far, though.
They're playing right at 500, swimming around that 500 mark a little bit, Pete. Of course, everybody knows they made the big blockbuster deal with the Padres last year. Each team sending 6 in different directions, but the Astros right now are struggling with some injuries and some slow starts. The most notable slow starter has been their MVP from a year ago, Jeff Bagwell. You can see that he's drastically off his mark from the last couple of years with Houston. A slow starter, yes, but not this slow, and they've got to get him turned around. He's been hitting .290 over recent days, so maybe he is beginning to turn it around. Also, they've got to get Phil Plantier back in their lineup to help protect Bagwell and Derek Bell in the middle of their lineup. Doug Drabeck off to a slow start. If they get him turned on, keep Greg Swindell going good in the rotation, they've got a good bullpen, and they could make a mark in that Central Division.
It'll be Greg Swindell on the mound tonight for Houston, going after his 4th win. He'll be opposed by Kent Mercker, who has never won here in the Astrodome. We'll be back with the starting lineups and all the action from Houston right after this.
Welcome back to the Astrodome, everybody. First of 3 between the Astros and the Atlanta Braves. Our national anthem just concluding here at the ballpark, and as you can see, a sparse turnout here at the Astrodome, and probably a good reason for that, as their Rockets are still in the NBA hunt and will be hosting the San Antonio Spurs tonight. But here is the starting lineup, the Mylanta starting lineup for Bobby Cox tonight. Marquis Grissom will lead it off in center field. Jeff Blauser bats second at shortstop. Chipper Jones will hit third. Fred McGriff is the cleanup hitter. David Justice, Javi Lopez, and Mike Kelly bat 5th, 6th, and 7th. Kelly in left field tonight. Mark Lemke battling a little bit of a slump is at second base, and Kent Mercker is on the mound batting 9th. Defensively for the Astros, some different names for you out there. James Mouton is in left. Derek Bell is now in center. Mike Sims, just called up from AAA, is in right field. Craig Shipley is at third base. He came over in that deal involved with Bell at third base. Orlando Miller, a rookie, at shortstop. Craig Biggio, Jeff Bagwell on the right side. 2 veterans over there. Behind the plate is Scott Service, and on the mound will be Greg Swindell. Umpires for tonight's contest and for this series: Paul Rumge is behind the plate. Jerry Lane will be at first base. Wally Bell at second, and Ed Rapawano will be around at third. The Astros at home are 5-7, but they've really improved on that mark, as they have won 3 in a row here at home before embarking on their most recent road trip. But this is a ball club that has been playing better on the road, hitting and pitching wise, but hitting especially. Talked about Bagwell and his struggles, but some other guys that came off the mark a little bit slow included Craig Biggio, who took an 0 for 17, 0 for 18, something like that, on the road with them on their first road trip before he got his first base hit, but then was the National League Player of the Week in the middle part of this month. So he's playing a whole lot better, has his average up to 280. But when they made that trade, Pete, that included Derek Bell, who's in center field, it also included a power hitting outfielder in Phil Plantier, who got hit in the hand with a pitch, broke a bone in his hand. He's expected back in about 10 days, but they desperately need him in the middle of their lineup to protect not only Derek Bell, that's in your picture there, but Jeff Bagwell, so that they can so pitchers and ball clubs can't work around those 2 guys.
Yeah, this has never been a ball club that's been blessed with a lot of power. They don't build their ball club that way because of playing here in the Dome, but they do have to have a little bit in the middle, and when you lose one of them, it's a key blow to their offense. There's
Phil Plantier, and like I said, he should be back in about 10 days. Greg Swindell on the mound makes his 6th start. He's 3-1. In fact, when you look at his marks for the year, and they're the best among all their starters, a 4.23 ERA, and a guy who never walks many batters. He's only walked 8 this year in 27 2/3. Last year he was 5th best in the league in that category, as he averaged only 1.6 walks per 9 innings. But look at the rest of the starters, 4-11 for this Astros ball club, and the way their bullpen is pitching, with a 3.16 mark on ERA for their bullpen, which is 3rd best in the National League. If they get their starters going, Pete, they're going to be mighty tough in the Central Division. Swindell 1-1 last year against Atlanta, 1-4 lifetime against the Braves. but he has won 3 in a row. The Braves, by the way, turned around some pretty bad numbers here in this ballpark. Beginning of the 91 season. Since then, Braves are 23-5 here at the Astrodome.
And we're all set to go. It'll be Marquis Grissom, Jeff Blauser, and Chipper Jones due up here in the top half of the first inning. You could say that the Houston pitching staff so far this year has shown a lot of similarities to that of the St. Louis Cardinals, who we just got through playing. The Cardinals getting great relief performances out of their bullpen, in particular Tom Henke, but they're having difficulty getting to him. They need better performances from their starting pitching, and that's been the case with Houston this year, with the possible exception of Greg Swindell, off to a 3-1 start. Well, here's Marquis Grissom, up to 217 for the year now. He has a homer and 11 RBIs. He is hitting .245 lifetime against Houston with 6 home runs. 4 of those 6 homers have come in 18 at-bats against Greg Swindell. And the first pitch of the night is on the way, and it's in for a called strike. 0-1 on Marquis Grissom. Now the 0-1 on the way to Marquis, and he takes it high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. You've got to be up there looking for something to swing at against Swindell. He rarely even gets behind in the count. In fact, that 8 walks a little bit high for him in 27 innings of work. Here's the 1-1. Into right center field. That's going to fall in the gap and roll to the wall. And Marquis will have himself at least 2. Sims runs it down there, and a good start for Atlanta. A leadoff double for Marquis Grissom.
Talking to General Manager Bob Watson of the Astros before the ball game, he was talking about Grissom's success against Swindell last year, and he knew that Marquis was nursing a tender heel. He said, but no matter how bad it hurts, you know he's going to be in the lineup tonight because he has had some pretty good numbers against the left-handed pitcher.
So a good start for the Atlanta Braves, and here's Jeff Blauser now batting .240 with a couple of home runs, 5 RBIs. He'll try to move that runner along to third. Jeff was 2 for 11 in the Cardinal series. Takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1.
Braves left 10 men on base yesterday. Didn't do a very good job of hitting with men on, so they're going to have to get back to some basics. Try to make sure that they get those runners over when they're in situations like this.
Now the 0-1 pitch due to Jeff Blauser. Here it comes. Caught the inside corner, 0-2. And with 2 strikes now, Shipley at third, Bagwell at first. Leach back up as a bunt is even less likely here. But Blauser doesn't very often bunt with a runner at second. You might see him bunt a runner from first down to second. Runner at second, he normally tries to hit that ball to the right side, get him over to third that way.
And he's usually pretty good at it.
Now the 0-2. Fought that one off, still 0-2.
Swindell, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Originally with Cleveland, was a #1 pick out of the University of Texas back in '86. Also spent some time with the Cincinnati Reds, but came home when he signed as a free agent with the Astros. He's a Houston native.
He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Now Blauser stepping out. Swindell finally gets the sign he wants from Scott Service. There goes Marquis Grissom. Strike 3 called. Throw to third, not in time. And there's an unusual way to advance the runner. Stealing third base and a strikeout.
Jeff Blauser with a word for Paul Runge as they're walking away. I'm not sure what the dispute was. They're almost looking at it. Wally Bell. Oh, there's a sign out in center field. Jeff may have lost the ball in that white sign out in center field that's just to the right of the tunnel. Is it a sign or a gate?
Looks like a gate. And if that's going to cause a problem, Paul Runge now talking to Terry Collins, the manager of the Astros, about that gate. But that might take some doing to get rid of that thing. Looks like it's a metal gate out there.
Maybe they can open it. Push it against the railing. It's kind of odd that no one else has picked up on that before in the early going here.
If you look at Greg Swindell out on the mound and you consider yourself a right-hand hitter in the batter's box, his arm would be coming right out of that white. It would not hurt if it was a right-handed pitcher out there, but a left-hander, his arm is going to be coming right through that white area.
See the cannon just to the right there of the picture? I guess that goes off when the Houston Astros hit a home run, and that railing is there to keep fans from venturing down near the cannon.
Well, I'm with you, Joe. I'm really surprised that with all the home games they've played here this year, and I'm assuming that gate, well, now they've knocked it down or opened it up or whatever they've done out there to get it at least partially out of play. I'm really surprised that didn't become an issue in an earlier game than this.
Yeah. It looked like that fan just picked it up and laid it down, and he knows what's going on. Good for that fan. He's already picked up on it.
Yeah, he's explaining to the usher out there why he did what he did. He wants to keep his seat in the ballpark. Well, we're set to go again. Chipper Jones stepping in. A runner at third, one down. Chipper, 265, 6 homers, 21 RBIs. And Jones fouls off the first one, 0-1. Chipper's first career at bat against Greg Swindell.
See, and it's the second day in a row he's faced a pitcher for the first time and has gone after the first pitch, Pete. I'm a little surprised at that. It's usually a good idea to maybe see a pitch or two from a new pitcher before you go after him.
There's your runner at third, Marquis Grissom. Braves trying to get an early run here. And the pitch to Jones, hit back up the middle of the center field. Base hit, that'll get Grissom home. And it gets the Braves on top 1-0. RBI number 22 of the year for Chipper Jones.
Swindell got him to chase that first off-speed pitch. Came right back with one, and since Chipper had seen the first one, I guess his timing was a little bit better, at least good enough to get a piece of this. Slow curve, he hit it right off the end of the bat and just out of the reach of Orlando Miller.
Still only one out. Jones at first, 1 run in, and now Fred McGriff batting .247, 5 homers and 20 RBIs. He went 3 for 9 against the Reds, or against the Cardinals rather. Throw to first and back safely. Chipper Jones. One game this afternoon in the National League. Florida beat the Chicago Cubs 5-3. McGriff, another of the Braves, and there are quite a few of them who have had great success in their careers against Greg Swindell.
Nice to know that Dwight Smith's in reserve too, 5 for 10 against him.
He's a left-hand batter, as is McGriff. 1 ball, no strikes. Made a few cosmetic changes here at the Astrodome since last year. They've got a new section of field level seats back behind the screen. They weren't there a year ago. They've also added a garden and some fountains out in the right and left field corners. There you see the new look here at the Dome.
Fountains like Kansas City, flowers like
they've
St.
really
Louis.
spruced this place up the last few years. It was kind of a dreary ballpark for a few years. 2-0 the count now on Fred McGriff. Again to first, and again back safely is Chipper Jones. Swindell, good motion toward first. Now the 2-0 on the way to McGriff. Right through a fastball. The count 2-1. .325 down the lines here now. 400 feet to straightaway center and .375 to the alleys. The Astrodome, another ballpark, as was the case in St. Louis, where fence distances have been brought in the last 5 years to make it a little more hitter friendly.
Yeah, and I think that's good for the ballpark and good for the fans. It used to take that cannon out in center field to hit one out of here.
Count still 2-1 on McGriff. 1 man out, 1 run in. Here's the 2-1 delivery to McGriff. Didn't mean to. Back towards Swindell. His only play will be on the first in time. Little swinging bunt by Fred McGriff gets Chipper Jones down to second. 2 men are out. And the batter will be David Justice, who comes in at .304 with 4 homers, 16 RBIs. And as we showed you, he too has had success against Swindell. 7 for 15 in his career with 3 homers. It looked to me in St. Louis, Joe, like that shoulder was really bothering David a little more than he might admit. We saw him grimacing a lot, flexing that shoulder some when he was in the outfield.
It's kind of funny. The one time that he was really hurting with it, that Jeff Porter came out to talk to him, was when he took a pitch. One that was inside that he had to jump out of the way of.
We'll see how he looks tonight against Swindell. Runner at second, 2 down. Through there for a called strike. Paul Runge, the crew chief, behind home plate tonight. There's your runner at second, Jones. Now the 0-1 on the way. Got the fastball by him. It's 0-2.
Swindell doesn't overpower anybody. He throws pretty good. His fastball's above average, but he relies on location. We talked about the fact that he doesn't walk very many guys. He can throw his breaking ball for strikes at will. It's just that sometimes, especially to the lefties, if he leaves it over the plate a little bit, it is hittable, and that's why McGriff and Justice have had some luck with him.
Now the 0-2 pitch on the way. Taken outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swindell's always been a workhorse, too. He had a string of 4 straight seasons of over 200 innings, interrupted last year, the strike-shortened season. But he rarely has missed a starting turn in his major league career. Now the 1-2 on the way. Foul back, still 1-2. There were a lot of rumors about Swindell early in the year, Joe. A lot of talk that the Houston Astros might still be trying to pare their payroll a little bit, and that because of his big contract he might be dealt. But the owner of the ball club, Drayton McLean, put a stop to those rumors. Said Greg Swindell's not going anywhere this year.
Well, and he didn't want to go anywhere. I mean, this is home to him. People kept asking him on the road, you know, stories about him going to New York and some other big league places. He wanted to stay right here.
Here's the 1-2 now, and he popped him up. He had that pitch right in on his hands, left side of the infield. Third baseman Craig Shipley there for the catch. And that's all for Atlanta in the first, but the Braves get on the board. An RBI single by Chipper Jones, driving home Marquis Grissom. We go to the bottom half of the first. Atlanta 1, Houston coming up.
Who covers all the action, has all the inside moves, and never misses a shot? The team with the best chemistry in sports. Nick and Fred, Sports Tonight, 11 Eastern on CNN.
Braves jump out first. They get a run in the top of the first inning. Let's take a look at Terry Collins' lineup tonight for the Astros. Leading it off will be James Mouton. He's got 9 stolen bases this year. Good to keep him off the sacks. Then Craig Biggio and Jeff Bagwell. Derek Bell, the cleanup hitter, followed by Craig Shipley, Mike Sims, and Scott Service. Orlando Miller is at shortstop, and Greg Swindell, the pitcher, bats 9th. The Braves defensively have Mike Kelly in left tonight, along with Grissom and Justice in center and right. Chipper Jones, Blauser, Lemke, and McGriff from third to first. Javi Lopez behind the plate, and Kent Mercker on the mound, making his 6th start. He's 1-1, a 3.2 ERA. His last start, not a good one. It came against the Marlins. He got no decision in a Braves win, 8-7, but he worked only 4 innings, gave up 6 walks, 3 hits, and 3 runs. But he was battling the flu that day and says he feels 100% today as he makes his start against the Astros.
0-2 in this ballpark lifetime in 9 appearances. James Mouton leads it off, drops a bunt. Good one down the third base side. Barehanded pickup by Chipper Jones. Good play by Chipper Jones. Took a bunt single away from James Mouton. That was the only way to make that play and get an out.
Outstanding. And the Braves, when you think about it, their only games on the turf have been the 3 in St. Louis before coming here.
1 down. Now Craig Biggio will be the hitter. He's up to 280 for the year, 3 homers, 16 RBIs. Just 1 for 11 against Cincinnati in that 3-game series they just concluded, losing all 3. Got to dig out this fact sheet. This is the 30th year of the Astrodome. And they handed out these fact sheets talking about some of the things that have happened over the 30 years in this place. Everything from Elvis Presley concerts to Super Bowls to heavyweight championship fights. But the one intriguing fact, where is it? When the dome was built in 1965, a time capsule was placed somewhere inside, but no one remembers where. So somewhere in the dome, there is a time capsule that's going to be discovered by archaeologists, I would assume, probably 2,000 years from now.
One for the ages. That's terrific.
The count 2-0 on Craig Biggio. Mercker's 2-0 pitch. Count goes to 3-0.
Astros feel like all 3 games in Cincinnati were games they could have and perhaps should have won.
And on 4 straight, Mercker walks Biggio with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. And here comes Jeff Bagwell, who was on his way to some kind of season last year. And as Joe mentioned, off to a slow start this year, although he's picked it up lately up to 194 now. He was a lot lower than that about a week ago. 3 homers, 11 RBIs. Bagwell last year, 368. He already scored 104 runs, even though the season was cut short. He had 116 RBIs already when the strike came along. Drives this one foul down the left side. They count 0-1. He had hit 39 home runs. That's more than he had hit the previous 2 years combined.
His manager, Terry Collins, was telling me that he's a guy that needs all of spring training. He's a guy that needs his at-bats. He has to work on a few things, tinker with his swing a little bit before the season starts. So he's one of those you can put in the list where the shortened spring training really hurt him.
And add to that the layoff since August of last year.
Right.
1 ball, 1 strike on Jeff Bagwell.
And the only way you get out of a slow start or a slump is to keep playing. You don't sit down last year's MVP to rest him. You just keep putting him out there and he'll work it out. And he's obviously getting better. He's hitting 7 of his last 8.
Going to first, Mercker, back safely Biggio. Craig has 4 steals and 7 tries this year. Braves have not done a very good job throwing out attempted base stealers. Javi Lopez has only caught 2 out of 19 who have tried to steal. 1-2 the count now on Bagwell. Bagwell may be a lot like Fred McGriff, who always says that a short spring training did him no good. He's got that kind of a big swing, and it's mechanics. You've got to get the mechanics pinpointed.
Absolutely, and he's so strong too. He has a tendency maybe to overswing a little bit because of his strength, the fact that he's a power hitter. A lot of it, so much of it is timing.
Changeup is ripped foul down the left side. And the count on Bagwell still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And he is a tireless worker. Came over in a deal from the Boston Red Sox for Larry Anderson when the Red Sox were making a late run for the pennant about 5 years ago.
1 man out. Biggio at first. 1-2 the count on Bagwell. Up the middle, shortstop Blauser gets to it, flips to Lemke in time. 1 on to first, in time, double play. So Kent Mercker gets through the first inning in good shape. The walk doesn't hurt. And at the end of an inning, it's 1-0 Atlanta. Braves leading at 1-0 as we go to the top half of inning 2. Javi Lopez will lead things off, followed by Mike Kelly and then Mark Lemke.
Got a few folks.
Who might Batty Bob be?
Batty Bob, I think, is one of the crowd pleasers here at the Astrodome. They've got some other guys roaming the stands, playing with the crowd.
And they're taking care of that white gate or sign that was blocking the Cannoneers platform there and presenting a bad hitter's background. Paul Runge continues to work on that problem.
And it looks like they just got fed up with putting any coloration on it, and they just pitched it, which they should have done a long time ago.
If anybody comes down there, turn the cannon around.
Yeah.
That'll get them out of there.
Yeah. How about putting an usher there so that no one can get by him? That'd be a smart thing to do. Well, while we're waiting, let's let you know what's on deck for the Braves. Brought to you by Armor All Deck Protector. We'll be coming back your way tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock Eastern time. It'll be John Smoltz against Doug Drabeck here at the Astrodome. Then Sunday on Sports South, a 2:30 start. That will be Greg Maddux against Darryl Kyle. All from the Astrodome, of course. So we've got your baseball for
And
you.
while you were going over that schedule, they also made him remove some bunting that was hanging out there below the cannon because of the white stripes, I guess, in it.
Well, good. Let's get it together out there. Let's get it straight.
I guess we're set to resume now. Javi Lopez hitting .312, 5 homers, 17 RBIs. That might stay fair, and does. Picked up by the catcher's service, and he throws it down the right field line. Lopez will get to at least second. He's going to be able to get even further as Sims runs it down in the corner, and Lopez makes it all the way around to third on a ball that rolled about 10 feet down the third base line. A good throw would have had Lopez at first, but the high throw enables him to get all the way around to third.
Javi almost started not to run. Look at him. He's watching the ball. Now he realizes it's going to stay fair. But Mike Sims, the rookie in right field, came in to back up the play, but he didn't play the right angle on the new wall, for him at least, coming from Tucson, and couldn't keep it from getting by him. It rolls all the way to the corner.
So a break for Atlanta. Lopez winds up at third on the throwing error by Service. And here's Mike Kelly, 204, a homer, 6 RBIs. Swindell delivers a breaking ball, missing low, ball 1.
That's one area where the Astros had really tightened things up. They made a few errors early in the year, but they'd been playing great defense of late.
Here's the 1-0. That's high, 2-0.
Fifth in the league. That was only their 20th error. And ironically, it ties them for Atlanta now with 20 errors.
Infield staying back. They'll concede a run unless there's a ground ball hit to first. Bagwell is the only infielder in. And the pitch is taken low and outside. Ball 3, 3-0 now to Kelly.
And I bet he's got the green light.
High in the air, deep to left center field. Derek Bell going back on the warning track to the wall. It's gone. 2-run homer for Mike Kelly. And the Braves now lead it 3-0. Kelly's second homer of the year. RBIs number 7 and 8. And his bat has come to life, Joe, since he's gotten a few more at bats.
Pete, he was 4 for 9 in his last 2 starts. Those games coming when Marquis Grissom was on the bench. Don't forget that big 3-run homer he hit in St. Louis to right center the other night. He happened to hit that one in the begonias of Busch Stadium. He hit it in the artificial flowers here at the Astrodome. Bell gave it a chase and jumped, but out there in the artificial gathering on another 3-0 count.
Now Mark Lemke taking ball 1. Lemke just 1 for 11 in the St. Louis series, hitting .202 for the year now, the homer and 8 RBIs. 3-0. Atlanta leads it. Count goes to 2-0. Nobody out here in the top of the second. The 2-0. Over but low, and the count goes to 3-0. Second hitter in a row that Swindell's been 3-0 on. He has given up some home runs this year. 5 homers now in 29 innings. There's a strike, 3-1. That was Mike Kelly's first career at bat against Swindell. Lemke drives one down the left field line. This one headed toward the corner. He'll take the turn at first, head for second, get in there easily as James Mouton's throw comes back. It's a double for Lemke. And that is 4 hits now for the Braves off Greg Swindell. They've hit him hard, and Mel Stottlemyre will visit the mound.
4 hits and 3 have been for extra bases. But that's, I think, a good example, Pete, for Swindell. Maybe folks that haven't seen him work before. Great swing by Mark, who's been struggling. Stayed back, rifled this into the corner. It's just that he cannot afford to pitch behind in the count. When he's 3-1, you're going to get a pitch to hit. You mentioned that he's around the plate, and the hitters know that, and they don't feel like he can throw the ball by them. So they're all over anything that he delivers close to the plate when he's behind.
Still nobody out. Kent Mercker will be the batter in a bunt situation here. Merck's having a better year with the bat this year. He's 2 for 10 with a double. He leads the Braves pitching staff with 2 RBIs this year. But the Astros look for the bunt here with Shipley in at third, Bagwell at first. He does square and didn't get it. 0-1.
Ooh, boy, I tell you what, he could have really deked Bagwell badly, in that he could have dropped the angle of his bat to make it look like he's going to push it to third, because Bagwell came right in front of the mound, and then all Kent would have had to have done is just then change the angle of the bat, pull it down the first baseline. He'd have had a base hit.
Here comes Bagwell charging again. There's the bunt. It's going to be picked up by the pitcher. And Swindell getting it over to first. Can't call that a sacrifice because Mark Lemke unable to advance.
I'm not sure why. This is the first pitch to Kent Mercker. Watch Bagwell race in front of the mound. See that big opening down the first base line? He had made Bagwell think he was going to push it to third, which he did on the second pitch. But apparently Lemke didn't think that ball was a good enough bunt to advance on.
Shipley stayed back and covered the bag at third, and with Bagwell charging the ball like he was and Swindell getting to it as quickly as he did, Lemke never moved. So no sacrifice. 1-4. Mercker is retired. And with 1 out, Marquis Grissom, the batter, he doubled, stole third, and scored in the first inning. He's now 9 for 19 lifetime against Swindell. Deep to left field along the line, and it is gone. Home run. It just stayed fair. Marquis Grissom now 5 homers in 20 career at bats against Swindell. And the Braves now lead it 5-0. That ball hugging the foul line all the way into the corner, and just did stay fair and just did get over the wall.
Pete, it's difficult to explain how when a hitter owns a pitcher like Grissom owns Swindell, how good it feels to go to the plate and know there's nothing he can do to get you out. Great extension. Got the ball out in front of the plate. Just a matter of it staying fair.
So it's now 5-0 Atlanta. That's Grissom's second homer of the year. RBIs number 12 and 13. Still only 1 out in the inning. Jeff Blauser, the hitter. He struck out in the first. The count ball 1 to Jeff. He fouls this one off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right-hander Dave Veras is up in the Astros bullpen. Two and 1 the count now on Blauser. 5 runs, 5 hits. Here's the 2-1 on the way to Jeff. Blowing outside, 3-1.
How do you spell Blauser anyway?
With an A. Blauser.
That's what I thought.
On the message board here, they have misspelled Jeff's name. Maybe that's where that time capsule is. Line drive center field. Bell coming up with it on a hop. A base hit for Jeff Blauser, and the beat goes on here against Greg Swindell. He's not fooling anybody. There you see the misspelling of Jeff's name. And there you see a very discouraged Greg Swindell.
And the inning got started, of course, with the throwing error by the catcher. The only out, the bunt by Mercker.
Chipper Jones had a run-scoring single in the first inning. 5 runs, 6 hits now for Atlanta. We're only in the top of the second. Outside ball 1. I know, Joe, that the Astrodome a little more hitter-friendly than it used to be, but it's still not the kind of ballpark you expect to come into and put a lot of runs on the board early. Normally you come in here, it's 3-2, 4-3 type of ball games what you play.
Exactly, and I keep thinking about guys who played here like Jimmy Wynn, Bob Watson, of course, their general manager, other guys that had a lot of power, and how they might have liked to hit in this ballpark with its current configuration.
Here's the 1-0. That's in the dirt. Good stop by Service. The count goes to 2-0.
But you're right. If you hit one, you've got to supply all the power. There's no wind, of course, and the ball does not travel very well. There's that mark again since the beginning of the '91 season.
Two nothing on Chipper Jones. Blauser at first, getting his lead. And the 2-0 pitch. Didn't have a good swing there. 2-1 the count.
A little late. Tried to get his hands in near his body on that swing to get the head of the bat through there, and was tardy.
Not a big crowd tonight. The town right now focused on the Houston Rockets, who are playing Game 3 in their series here at home tonight at the Summit.
Yeah, that's why you're going to hear a lot of Braves fans tonight.
Swindell goes to first, and back safely is Blauser. In fact, I would imagine that a lot of these folks probably have radios, and they'll be paying attention to that Rockets contest with San Antonio. Here's the 2-1. Good pitch. Fastball inside corner. 2-2.
Pretty good pitching coach right there, Mel Stottlemyre.
Many years with the New York Mets, of course, in his career. An outstanding pitcher with the New York Yankees back in the 60s.
And an ace of a guy, too.
Over to first again goes Swindell. Again, Blauser back safely.
Got a couple of new coaches on the Astros staff. Steve Henderson is their hitting coach. Jesse Barfield, former slugger in the American League. Now their first base coach, works with the outfielders.
Another base hit for Chipper. Blauser will stop at second, and Greg Swindell is getting pounded here in the second inning. I don't know how much longer he'll be out there. That's 5 hits in this inning. 7 in the game now off Swindell.
His location has got to be good with his breaking ball. I mentioned that earlier. When he's ahead in the count, it's one thing, but on a 2-2 count here, that curve came right across the middle of the plate. And even though Chipper was out front a little bit, because of the location in the middle of the plate, he was able to make the adjustment and hit it hard.
Service may just be buying some time out there. Mel Stottlemyre looking down in the bullpen a little moment ago to see if his pitcher was ready. Now it looks like they're going to leave him in there against Fred McGriff. He got McGriff pitcher to first his last time up. With these left-hand batters coming in, maybe Terry Collins going to gamble that Swindell's got enough at least to get them out. He just doesn't look comfortable out there, Joe.
No, he doesn't. I'm not sure that it isn't because of his inability to hit his spots that he usually hits and get ahead in the count. Fred's hoping he can get the count in his favor again. Well, it's been a while since he's taken a lefty deep.
The runners lead. Jones off first, Blauser off second. And the 1-0 pitch to Fred McGriff. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Time for another one. Jason Hakami, last August.
McGriff, the 8th man to bat for the Braves, here in the top half of the second inning. And still only 1 man out. High and tight, 2-1. This is very unlike Greg Swindell. He's been behind a lot of hitters, especially in this inning. He was 3-0 on Mike Kelly, 3-1 on Mark Lemke, 3-1 on Jeff Blauser, now 2-1 on McGriff. He just doesn't pitch this way.
He was 2-0 on Chipper Jones, too, before he got the count even.
Here's the 2-1 delivery. Line down the right field line. Another base hit. That'll get at least 1 run in. Blauser will round third and score. They're going to hold Chipper Jones up at third. It's a run-scoring double for Fred McGriff. It is now 6-0. McGriff picking up his 21st RBI. And one of the worst nights of Greg Swindell's career will finally come to an end, as Terry Collins is now on his way to the mound. Well, the Braves have had their successes against Swindell, but not like this.
You could see from that angle, too, that that pitch was about belt high and easy for Fred to make the adjustment. And for Fred, he picks up RBI number 21.
So Greg Swindell is out of the game, already down 6-0. Dave Veers, his replacement. It is already 6-0 Atlanta, and here's one of those relief pitchers we were telling you about that's having a great year, but he never expected to be in the game this soon. He's making his 15th appearance, Dave Veers. Look at those numbers. He's only given up 1 run in 17 1/3 innings. The league getting 226 off him. But he's a guy that right now is going to be asked by Terry Collins just to give him some innings.
They've got several guys pitching pretty well, not just Veers out of the bullpen, but also John Hudek, guy who they've used as their closer, of course, who has not allowed an earned run yet in 9 innings of work. And also Todd Jones, who's got some Georgia connections, has picked up a save. Guy can throw about 95 miles an hour. He's used mainly as a setup guy, but can close, as you can see there, with a 1 save on occasion.
Veers inherits a situation, runners second and third. Jones the runner at third, McGriff down at second. Still only 1 out. David Justice, who popped to third his first time, will be the hitter. And Veers delivers a breaking ball, missing low and inside. 1 ball, no strike. Justice, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Braves have scored 5 times. Two home runs hit in this inning. A 2-run shot by Mike Kelly, a 2-run shot by Marquis Grissom. That's fouled off, and the count even on Justice. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's certainly a good inning for the Braves, and with the 5 runs that have already scored, but I don't remember an inning this year, Pete, where they've hit the ball so sharply.
Maybe the very first inning of the year against the Giants when they had those 6 straight hits. But outside of that, nothing like this. Here's the 1-1. Pop foul, back out of play. 1-2. The count on Justice.
And the good thing about the Braves lineup here, this is an early part of the ball game, and Terry Collins has gone to his bullpen to bring in a right-handed pitcher. Sometimes you have a team that has a lot of different platoon players in it. Braves are only affected with 1 hitter, really, and that's Mike Kelly.
1-2. The count on Justice. Here's the 1-2 on the way, and it's low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Veers toiled for many years in the minor leagues. 6 years in the Oakland A's organization, 1 at AAA for the Dodgers, and then a little over 2 years at AAA for Houston before he finally got his first major league opportunity last year.
You were talking before the ball game, though, about looking over some of those pitching rosters, especially the ones we don't get to see much of in the American League.
A lot of new names this year.
A lot of new bodies.
All over the place. Here's the 2-2. And it's outside 3-2. Even with this Houston staff, a couple of brand new names this year who might see some action before this one is over. Jim Daugherty, a right-hand pitcher up from AAA a year ago, and a left-hander, Dean Hartgraves, also out in their bullpen. Three and 2 now on David Justice. Fouled off into the Astro dugout.
Things for sure, if you had any doubts, the scouting reports were anywhere short on what a pitcher throws, all you got to do is look at the message board here in Houston, and they'll tell you what he's throwing. You've got a locator, balls and strikes. You see the SL, that's a slider. FK, that's a fork ball, and FB, of course, a fastball.
Again, the 3-2 on the way, and he walked him. So the beat goes on for Atlanta. They've sent 9 men to the plate. Still only 1 man out. Bases loaded now for Javi Lopez, who started this inning off with a little check swing roller about 10 feet down the third baseline. Catcher Scott Service pounced on it, but then threw the ball high over the head of Bagwell all the way into the right field corner. And Lopez wound up at third. Terry Collins commiserating in that last shot with Matt Galante, one of his coaches. And they both had looks on their faces as if to say, well, it's going to be one of those nights. And when they happen, there's not much you can do about them. Inside to Lopez, ball 1.
They had this happen to them in Philadelphia in a series that they had trouble with the Phillies. They were behind in the first inning almost every night, 4 runs or 5 runs. They do have 7 come from behind victories, but when you're down by a count of 6-0 in the second, it doesn't give you a whole lot of hope.
And a chance for more here with the bases loaded and 1 out, and the count 2-0 now on Lopez.
Bring in a guy that you've been counting on all year, or that has been doing the job for you all year long, and then he suddenly can't find the plate. Can be very frustrating. Good pitch here for Lopez.
2-0 pitch on the way. Bouncing ball to third. Might be 2. Shipley to second, 1 on to first. Double play. And that finally takes care of the Braves in the top half of the second inning, but a good top half of the second for Atlanta as they score 5 times. 2 of them on a Marquis Grissom homer, 2 of them on a Mike Kelly homer. 6-0 as we go to the bottom half of inning 2.
Braves by a touchdown as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. And a reminder that this telecast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Atlanta National League Baseball Club and is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission of the pictures or descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the Atlanta National League Baseball Club is prohibited.
It is 6-0 Atlanta as we go to the bottom half of inning 2, and Derek Bell will lead off. One of those who came over from San Diego in that huge trade. 369 for the year with a homer and 16 RBIs. Had a good year. He has only been held hitless in 4 games that he's played in this year. Nothing in 1. The count on Bell. Mercker with a big lead now can just concentrate on throwing strikes.
Derek Bell, no matter where he has been, seems to get better every year, whether he was with Toronto as a rookie or in San Diego. Now here, of course, 3rd in the league in hitting. Good offensive player.
The 0-1 delivery is high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He was going so good, or has been going so good, that Jeff Bagwell the other day in Cincinnati decided that he would wear his pants like Derek, thinking that would help him. One and 1. Bagwell was willing to try anything at that point.
Hitters will when they get in slumps. 1 and 2 the countdown. Bell. Fastball outside corner.
It was amazing in Kansas City how many guys would begin to wear their socks like George Brett.
Did he ever have a batting slump?
I don't remember one.
Here's the 1-2 on the way now to Derek Bell, and he fouls it straight back. It remains a ball and 2 strikes. You know, they can tell you, don't worry, that plastic is unbreakable back there behind home plate, but if you're running one of those cameras, I know what you're thinking when that ball comes flying back there like that. 2-2.
There have been some replays on some of the baseball blooper videos of that plexiglass shattering, not here in Houston, but other places.
Here's the 2-2. High and away, 3-2. Don't want to start walking people with a big lead.
No, but he is throwing fastballs, and that's good. Missed in, missed out. Now time to go right down Broadway.
And here it comes. Just missed low and inside. Didn't throw a fastball on a 3-2 pitch.
Changeup.
That is his second walk. And that'll bring up Craig Shipley, the third baseman. Former Dodger, former Padre, hitting .355 in limited play this year. He has a homer and 6 RBIs. The native Australian. Mercker delivers. Hit foul out of play, right side. This is what you mean about having a hitter behind Derek Bell. Nothing wrong with Craig Shipley as a player, but not the same type of power and same kind of a home run threat that Phil Plantier might be.
No, and I think he'd even be more comfortable batting second or even somewhere down the lower third of the order.
0-2 now on Craig Shipley.
They signed Dave Magadan before the season started, and he's been giving them some good numbers. In fact, hitting .271, but more importantly, Magadan's walked 20 times.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Mike Sims on deck. He was just called up from AAA again. 5th time in his career that's happened to him. He's never been able to stay up here very long. Here's the 1-2, foul back. Braves leading at 6-0. We're in the top half of inning 2, first of 3 here in Houston. Tomorrow night, John Smoltz against Doug Drabek. Sunday afternoon, Greg Maddux against Darryl Kyle. Then the Braves head for Chicago.
Of all the positions that were involved in that deal between the Padres and Astros, the one spot that was left the most vulnerable was third base for Houston with the loss of Caminiti.
There's the 1-2 on the way, and it's hit sharply off Chipper Jones' glove, run down by Blauser. No play anywhere. Jones couldn't handle it by the time Blauser got to it. No chance to go anywhere with it. Runners first and second now with nobody out.
That would probably be an error. It was hit hard, but he had a chance to field it. Kind of made a stab at it and got some leather on it.
And they are going to call that an error on Chipper. So runners at first and second, nobody out. For Mike Sims, he was hitting .336 at Tucson with 5 homers and 30 RBIs. He was first called up by the Astros back in 1990. He's been in a shuttle back and forth ever since. Ball 1 the count on Mike.
He's listed 6'4", 185, but I would guess that 185 was probably his weight when he was first added to their roster. He's bigger than that now. He's put on a pretty good show in batting practice too.
Been primarily a first baseman throughout his career. Here's the 1-0 pitch. In for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Been in the Astros organization since way back in 1985, although there were a couple of years that he got away and played in the Pirates chain. Down the right side, foul. The count goes to 1-2. I don't know how many of you fans will remember this. I believe it was back in 1991. Sims playing in a game in Atlanta late in the year during the pennant stretch. They had to call time because a moth flew into the ear hole in his batting helmet right into his ear. He had to go back to the Houston dugout and have it removed. One of the crazier moments we've been around. There's a strike. The throw to third will not get the runner. Stolen base for Derek Bell on the strikeout of Mike Sims. First strikeout for Mercker.
You know what? That says a lot about Derek Bell, because you say, well, you shouldn't be running here when you're down by 6, second inning. But Derek Bell's competitive enough. He's going to say to the Braves, look, if you don't pay attention to me, I'm going to steal the base. I haven't given up in this ball game. It's early, and I want to get myself in scoring position for somebody. Maybe we can peck away at you and get back in this thing, and you got to admire that.
Here's Scott Service, the catcher now, with runners first and third, one out. Service at 200 with 5 RBIs, no homers yet this year. Let up is low, ball 1. That's a lot.
Too many.
Mercker is 1-0 on the way, and it's high ball 2-0. Mercker would like a ground ball out of Service. He's a double play candidate if you can get him to hit one on the ground somewhere.
Their other catcher, Tony Eusebio, hitting .321, has 14 RBIs, but Terry Collins got to get some work for this guy to keep him sharp.
There's a base hit, scoring a run into left field as Derek Bell trots home. That's the first hit allowed by Kent Mercker as Service drives in his 6th run of the year. It's now 6-1 Atlanta.
There's that run for Derek Bell, and good swing by Service on this pitch. The one thing about this run is that guy crossing the plate, Pete. The fact that Kent Mercker threw him a 3-2 changeup and put him on base instead of challenging him with a fastball when he had a 6-run lead.
Now the rookie shortstop Orlando Miller hitting .238 with a homer and 4 RBIs up the middle. That's going to get through. Base hit center field. Matt Galletti will hold the runner at third. And the Astros trying to get right back in this thing. They've loaded the bases with 1 man out, having already scored once in the inning. And now Dave Veers will bat for himself.
I'm a little surprised at that. It's early to start depleting your bench, but this may be your best opportunity to get back in this ball game. There's only 1 out. You've had a bullpen that's been doing a good job. You could almost go to a guy working every other inning if you wanted to, but a big hit here might get you right back in this thing. Watch out for the squeeze.
He is 0 for 1 as a hitter this year, 1 for 3 in his career. And he takes a strike for Mercker, 0-1. 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Atlanta, 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 error for Houston. We're only in the bottom half of inning 2. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases loaded. Miller at first, Service at second, Shipley over at third. Here's the 1-1. Outside corner, 1-2. No need to get tricky here. This is a pitcher hitting. Shipley at third, Service at second, Miller over at first. And now the 1-2 pitch to Veers, hit foul down the right side. Up into the crowd. It stays a ball and 2 strikes. Coming into tonight, the Braves remaining 3.5 games behind the Phillies. Phillies playing at home tonight against San Diego and leading 2-0 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Second strikeout for Mercker, 2 down now, and a chance to get out of this with only 1 run scoring if he can get James Mouton, who grounded out to third his first time up. Should be out of the inning. Into shallow right center field. Marquis Grissom making the call and the catch for out number 3. So it could have been a lot worse. Mercker getting out of that with just the 1 run scoring. And after 2, it's now Atlanta 6 Houston 1. Back at the Astrodome, we go to the top half of the third. Braves leading at 6-1. Lower third of the order. Mike Kelly, Mark Lemke, and Kent Mercker go up against Dave Veers.
This is a 3-0 pitch to Mike Kelly for his second homer of the year. What was nice about this, obviously, is the fact that it went out of the ballpark. But just I think he's showing a lot more confidence, and Bobby Cox showing some more confidence in him and letting him hit 3-0. And he made the most of it here tonight.
Bobby, a firm believer that for a lot of hitters, the best pitch they'll ever see in any given night is when the count is 3-0. That's why he green lights so many of them. And it paid off for Kelly back 1 inning ago. Now he faces the right-hander, Dave Veers. Fastball strike inside corner, 0-1. High and tight, 1 ball, 1 strike. Slider for a strike, 1 and 2.
I think it also backs up, talking about Mike, what we've been saying all along, Pete, is that he is an excellent fastball hitter. And when he knows he's ahead in the count and has a fastball coming, he's a tough out. Breaking balls are what get him.
Especially breaking balls from right-handers.
Yeah.
2-2 the count now on Mike Kelly. Here comes the 2-2. Fouled off the screen. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's all for Kelly. First strikeout for Veers. 1 down.
It's a big auto racing weekend here on TBS. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, it's the Red Dog 300. Then on Sunday at 4:30, Jeff Gordon sits on the pole position for the Coca-Cola 600. Live from Charlotte, North Carolina. That's NASCAR action all this weekend right here on TBS. That 600-mile race, the longest on the NASCAR circuit, I believe.
Here's Mark Lemke now. Doubled and came around to score on the second. Fouls back the first one. The count 0-1. Lemke got that hit against Greg Swindell, who worked only an inning and a third tonight, giving up 8 hits, 6 runs. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 1. Fastball strike, 0-2. Way outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
One of the good things about Mark's swing on his base hit that was so sharp down the left field line was that he allowed his hands a little opportunity to work. Yeah, he had the count in his favor, 3-1, but he's been, I think, letting his hands come with his body a little bit when he goes to the ball.
And he takes strike 3 called there. That's the second strikeout for Veers. And out number 2 here in the top of the third.
That was the fork ball and a beauty.
2 gone. That'll bring up Kent Mercker. He was trying to move a runner along with a sacrifice back in the second. He got the bunt down, but the runner at second, Mark Lemke, couldn't get over to third, so an at-bat was charged to Mercker. This one hit into the seats, foul. The count 0-1. Showing bunt. They appeal down to third. Ed Rapawano says he didn't go.
Oh.
So the Braves may have caught a break there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
If the ball had hit his bat, it would have gone to left field.
Oh, my. Braves will take that call. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. In the air to left field. Mouton waits for it out there. And a very easy inning for Veers. As after sending 10 men to the plate in the second inning, the Braves go 1-2-3 in the third. We go to the bottom half of inning 3, 6-1 Atlanta.
TBS presents a world premiere television event. The car. It sparked our passion, fueled our dreams, and changed our lives. Join TBS for the trip of a lifetime and take an incredible look at America's lifelong obsession with the automobile. Driving Passion, America's love affair with the car, premiering 8:05 Eastern, Tuesday, exclusively on TBS.
An update on the Armor All Tire Protectant scoreboard. Florida beat Chicago at Wrigley today, 5-3. Tommy Gregg a homer for the Marlins. Montreal over L.A. Philadelphia always scores first. They're leading the Padres. Pittsburgh leads Colorado. New York over San Francisco.
And it'll be Craig Biggio leading off here in the bottom of the third. He drew a walk in the first inning off Mercker. Braves on top 6-1. 1 ball, no strikes.
One other game underway in the National League. St. Louis leads Cincinnati 2-0 after 3.5.
There's the look at the other 2 National League scores. And here's the 1-0 pitch now to Biggio, and there's a drive down the left field line. That is a foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Some American League scores for you. Detroit got 4 in the third, but they trail Chicago by a score of 6-4 after 5.5. Cleveland's at Toronto. Toronto leading, or was leading that one. It's now tied 3-3. Indians have home runs from Sereno and Ramirez. Texas over Minnesota. Tettleton and Clark have homered for the Rangers. Kansas City leads Milwaukee. The other games are on the West Coast.
Here it is 6-1 Atlanta. Bottom half of inning 3. A count of 1 ball, 1 strike on Biggio. There's the 1-1. There's a high chopper over third. That's an AstroTurf base hit into left field. You get a ball hit hard onto the ground along the lines, either first base or third base, with some topspin on it on this turf. It'll just kangaroo into the outfield.
That's a hard surface right out there in front of home plate.
That is hit number 3 allowed by Mercker. Now here's Bagwell hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the first inning. Gets away from Lopez. That'll get Biggio down to second base. 1 ball, no strikes on Bagwell. That'll be a wild pitch. Charge to Kent Mercker.
Something else about Jeff Bagwell. You were talking about his great numbers last year, Pete. Of his 147 hits, you mentioned 39 were homers. He also had 32 doubles. He's had over 30 doubles each of the last 3 years. But so far this year, this is a situation that's plagued him.
And will plague him again. Little pop fly, shallow left center. Grissom calling off Blauser and Kelly. Makes the catch, 1 down. Holding at second, Biggio, and the batter will be Derek Bell, who walked and scored in the second. This dome has been up since 1965. This was the very first indoor sports stadium for baseball and football, and celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, they've attracted over 133 million people to events here since 1965.
You think about what engineering was available to the people who put this together back in the early 60s. It really is a marvel how they were able to put a lid on it.
Now Derek Bell taking a strike at the knees. They tried to grow grass in here, have a grass surface for a while. It just didn't work.
Tried to grow flowers in here earlier this year. That didn't either.
Didn't work either, no. They had problems when it first opened up with the skylight coming through there, so they had to darken those ceiling panels. Another one getting away from Lopez, but not far enough. I never knew this looking at this little anniversary fact sheet. You know, they broke ground for the Astrodome back in 1964.
No.
They shot Colt 45s into the dirt. That was the original Astro nickname, the Colt 45s. There's Drayton McClain, the current owner of the Houston Astros.
Great story about Mr. McClain.
Good off-speed pitch there. Had Bell way out in front, 1-2.
One of his other businesses, he runs a grocery distribution company, and he had Terry Collins and Bob Watson sacking groceries at the new opening of a grocery store the other day for an hour.
Hey, when the owner says show up, you show up, right? Here's the 1-2. In the air to right. Justice there for the catch. Holding at second is Biggio. 2 down. 2 away, and that'll bring up Craig Shipley, who reached on the error by Chipper Jones back in the second. This place has had a lot of big events. We've told you that they've had Super Bowls here. Muhammad Ali has fought a couple of championship fights here in his heyday. Remember the Billie Jean King, Bobby Riggs tennis match? That was the Astrodome was the site of that. The Alvin Hayes Lou Alcindor battle between Houston and UCLA, won by the Big E that year, was played here.
Did Sonny Liston fight here also? Did he have a championship bout here? Is that listed?
They don't have his name listed here.
I was thinking he might have fought it.
Biggest crowd for a non-sporting event. 72,000 for a Garth Brooks concert.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. This has been quite a place. 1 ball, no strikes on Shipley. Fouled away, 1 ball, 1 strike. However, even Garth comes in second to Elvis Presley, who attracted nearly 90,000 for 2 shows in this building.
And I'll bet he wasn't even wearing cowboy boots.
There's the 1-1. Fly ball deep center field. Marquis Grissom back toward the warning track. He's got it. That's all for Shipley, and that is all for Houston in the third. The leadoff single doesn't hurt after 3 complete. It is 6-1 Atlanta. We are going to the top half of the 4th inning. Braves have a 6-1 lead. And the top of the order will be due up for the Braves. Marquis Grissom, Jeff Blauser, and Chipper Jones. Top of the 4th. Here's Joe Simpson.
Thanks, Pete. You saw that one sign there. Kids are already out of school here in the Houston metro area, so they're excited about getting to the ballpark. Marquis ought to be excited about what he's done tonight. He doubled and scored in the first and hit a 2-run homer in the second. An inning in which the Braves scored 5 runs. His second homer of the year and gives him 13 RBIs. Dave Veers, after walking David Justice to load the bases in the second inning, got a double play to end it. Retired the side in order in the third. And Marquis has his average up to 231, folks.
He's had a good road trip. He's 7 out of 17.
Chases a bad one there. It's 2-2. Right at Bagwell, who was playing in. 1 out. Astros were only a half game back of the Reds in the Central Division when the strike came along last year. That was going to be a dogfight. Made some changes in the offseason. That big deal with San Diego. Part of it economic, part of it the fact that they didn't know if they could re-sign Ken Caminiti and Steve Finley, who were going to become free agents. Blauser has singled in 2 trips and scored once. Hey, they got it right this time, Pete.
Must be watching.
That's good. Slider for a strike. Dave Veers, born in Montgomery, Alabama, grew up in the state of Oregon. Still lives there. Good pitch to hit, but Blauser fouled it back. Not only is their bullpen doing a good job, but their overall record in the bullpen, 6-1, and they are 5 for 5 in save opportunities. A ball and 2 strikes to Blauser. Another fastball. Look out. There's 6'2", 195. Last year 3-3 with the Astros. Right off the fist. Orlando Miller with a quick release. Got it. 2 down. Astros are very high on this kid. Has good hands. Good range. Last year at Tucson, he had 257 with 10 homers and 55 RBIs.
But you were hearing about him even last year.
Yeah. He may not be the offensive equal of Andahar Cedeno yet, but he's still young, still learning. And that's why I said the only position they really came up short was at third base. Chipper Jones, 2 for 2. Couple of singles and an RBI. And that's a drive to deep right field. If that's fair, that's got a chance to be in the second deck. It is. Just missed the upper deck, folks. Wow. Sims just turned around to see where that one was going to land. Home run number 7 for Chipper Jones, his second RBI of the night, his 22nd ribby of the year, and the Braves lead it 7-1. How far did it go?
Well, you don't see many hit up there in this ballpark. This is a tough ballpark. There's not much carry to the ball in this park. All those folks in the orange seats could just look up and watch it rattle around in the second row of the second deck.
Mercy. Fred McGriff has doubled in 2 trips. He has driven in a run.
You know, they've got a couple of seats marked here where upper deck home runs have been hit, and there have only been a handful of those.
I think Jimmy Wynn's got some out in left field. Doug Rader's got some. They got good numbers on them. That's a Jimmy Wynn number 23. Or was Wynn 24?
He was 24.
He was 24. My mistake. That's a nice touch here at the ballpark. Number 12 is for Doug Rader. 23 was for Eric Anthony in the upper deck in right field. Some others that have gone up there: Bernie Carbo when he was with the Reds, Bob Bailey of the Expos, Greg Lazinski of the Phillies, and Andre Dawson of the Expos, off of former Brave Frank Lacorte.
I think Greg Lazinski's name is on every upper deck list in the National League.
What a blast by Jones. 2-2 to McGriff. Second home run Veers is allowed this year. And hey, if you're going to give one up, why not see how far it'll go? Got him. Third strikeout for Veers, but he walks off shaking his head. I think everybody else is shaking their head in disbelief too. Chipper Jones hits one a mile. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. And the Braves are on top 7-1. Got service, and Orlando Miller due up against Kent Mercker. Sims struck out his first time up, and Paul Runge says he went around after that breaking ball. Sims is 28 years old, so this is one of those times where he got off to a great start at AAA, gets another chance at the big league level, and really he needs to make the most of it. Breaking ball high. Not only had he hit 5 homers and driven in 30 runs for Tucson, but he also stolen 5 bases. That's playable. McGriff or Lemke? It's Fred. 1 out. I want to show you that swing again of Chipper Jones. And what I want you to watch is the short stride and what great leverage that creates to allow his hands to work. I mean, his stride, Pete, couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 inches.
He could develop along the same lines that Jeff Bagwell did. When you look at Bagwell's minor league career in his first year or so in the majors, not a lot of power. But the power in Bagwell's case has just kept increasing, and that's been the case with Chipper Jones. His power has gotten better the higher up he's gone. And of course, he had that whole year to work on upper body strength when he was getting that knee healthy.
And he says he thinks that played a big part in his power surge here in the early part of the season. Scott Service, the batter. He's got a 1-0 count. He singled his first time up.
.15, the most home runs Chipper ever hit in a minor league season. He's got 7 already this year.
There's a drive to center field. Grissom was playing shallow, still going, makes the catch. Just shy of the warning track. 2 down.
Don't forget, we're back with you tomorrow night, game 2 in this series. John Smoltz against Doug Drabeck. We'll have it for you 8 o'clock Eastern time here on TBS.
Talking about Drabeck's slow start, he's 1-3 in his first 6 starts, and his ERA 5.7. 16 walks for Drabeck in his first 30 innings. That's unheard of. It's Orlando Miller. Hit the first pitch he saw from Mercker in the 2nd inning for a base hit. Came in hitting .238. He's extended his hitting streak to 5 games. And he's got another base hit. 2 for 2. That'll bring up the pitcher's spot, and Andy Stankiewicz is going to pinch hit.
Just out of the reach of Blauser. Hit number 4 off Kent Mercker.
Stankiewicz 2 for 10 on the year. No homers, 1 RBI. He's 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter. And a left-hander in the Astros bullpen, left-hander Pedro Martinez, who came over in the deal from San Diego. Shallow fly ball to right field. No trouble for David Justice. He puts it away, and a pretty easy inning for Kent Mercker. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We go to the 5th. All Braves to this point, 7-1. Top half of the 5th inning here at the Astrodome. The Braves have already hit 3 home runs tonight. 1 each by Mike Kelly, Marquis Grissom, and a long second deck shot by Chipper Jones. New pitcher for the Astros will be left-hander Pedro Martinez. 26 years old, 6'2", 185, out of the Dominican Republic. You look at his numbers for the year. Last year with San Diego, he was 3-2 and had an ERA of 2.9. And Bob Watson talking about Pedro Martinez before the ball game. Pete thinks he's going to be a real good one. Last year with San Diego, 68 innings, 52 strikeouts. He's just got to cut down on his bases on balls, and he faces David Justice to start the 5th. Did he go around? Yes, it did, said Ed Rapuano.
A little surprising to see San Diego trade a guy like Martinez, because almost anywhere you look, teams are looking for more pitching, in particular left-handed pitching. And when you get a good one, you don't expect them to be traded.
Well, it might have been one of those keys to the deal, you know, that Padres had to make if they wanted the likes of Caminiti and Steve Finley. Big curveball misses high. David tonight 0 for 1 with a walk. That'll stay fair. Bagwell takes it himself. 1 down. Javi Lopez, the guy that got things going in the second inning. He had a swinging bunt that went about 15 feet down the third base line, started not to run, and then Service picked it up and threw it down the right field line for a 3-base error. Then the Braves went on a hitting spree. 1-0. 6 of the next 7 batters got base hits. To Lopez, who is hitting .304. Javi's hit in 5 straight. Had a 9-game streak earlier this year. High fly ball down the line. Sims over in the corner, and that ball is just foul. There's a screen attached to the foul pole down the line to help umpires that's in fair territory, and that one shaved the pole in foul territory. Look how close that was.
About 6 inches foul is all.
Two and one the count. Got to keep him honest, but the count goes 3-1. Martinez appeared in 4 games against the Braves last year, worked 7 innings, gave up only 2 hits but no runs. Again to right field, this time way foul, and the count goes full. Payoff pitch is in the dirt. And a 1-out walk to Javi Lopez. For Martinez, the 6th walk he has issued in 8 2/3 innings. Again, that's the area he's got to improve on, and he's got a great guy to help him with that in Mel Stottlemyre. Mike Kelly, after Lopez reached on the error in the 2nd inning, followed that with a home run to left field, his 2nd of the year. He's also struck out. Mike now with 8 RBIs on the year. Tried to pull an outside pitch. It's 1-1. Inside again, 2-1. Kelly, as you probably know, a #1 pick out of Arizona State, and regionals heating up as we speak around the country.
And the draft just around the corner too, coming up next week, June 1st.
Two and 1. 3-1. things really began to click right after Jeff Blauser had him take that panel down out there in right center. Can't blame the panel, though, for Marquis Grissom's leadoff double to right center, though.
If you're wondering who the big name in the draft this year is expected to be, according to Baseball America, University of Nebraska outfielder Darren Erstad expected to go first in the draft. California has the first pick this year.
Oh, he went after a bad pitch, and that'll make it full at 3-2. He was looking for the fastball and got it, but it was outside. Final from Veterans Stadium. Braves got no help from the Padres tonight. Michael Mims shut out the Padres 2-0. Let's see if Lopez is running here. Have to get back to the bag first.
Interesting name in the current Baseball America. They have the top 100 draft prospects listed, but number 29 on the list, considered the 29th best player available in the draft this year, Clemson outfielder Shane Monahan from Marietta. He's Bernie Boom Boom Jeffreon's grandson.
Foul ball down the line. Long run over by Shipley, but he won't have a play. Now he's playing at Clemson. I'll bet you that he goes before 29. He's a pretty good looking center field prospect. Runs well. One of the top hitters each of the last 2 years in the NCAA, but I'll bet you he gets taken before number 29. Yeah, I'll bet Shane's a good low ball hitter. What do you think?
Probably so.
That kind of heritage. Lopez not running. 3-2 pitch. He waves at an off-speed pitch. Good pitch by Martinez. Kelly down on strikes for the second time. First one for Pedro Martinez.
That's a pitch that's given Mike Kelly at times trouble. Pitches down and away. Whether it's been a breaking ball from a right-hander or an off-speed pitch from a left-hander, he just can't seem to hold off on those pitches.
And that was well off the plate. Mark Lemke has doubled in 2 trips.
Yeah, Baseball America does a nice job with the preview of the draft. And a very interesting name since we are in Houston. He's listed as the 3rd best prospect out there and is listed number 1 in players that are closest to the majors. Jose Cruz Jr. plays at Rice University here in Houston. His dad, of course, a longtime star in this Houston Astro ball club.
I remember seeing his name in the papers here. We'd come in to play the Astros when he was playing in high school over in Bel Air, Texas, here a suburb of Houston. That's out of play.
There's the number that Jose wore.
He might have liked the cozier ballpark here too, the way he stroked line drives. He liked to wear his socks like Derek Bell wears his.
He's managing now in one of those independent leagues.
Is he?
Saw his name listed the other day. I think in the Texas-Louisiana League somewhere.
Oh, big swing by Mark. Went after a high fastball and just missed.
Hard to lay off these pitches. Right up around the shoulder, between the letters and the shoulders.
Almost tied himself into a pretzel. Took him a second to get back in the box. 1-2 pitch. He didn't offer. It's even 2-2. Skip Caray and Don Sutton will be coming over in the bottom half of the inning. Two and 2. Full count now. Lopez can run. Bagwell's going to play behind him. He threw Mike Kelly an off-speed pitch, trying to get him to chase something down and away, and he did on a 3-2 count. There goes the runner. Grounded down the line, but foul. The Astros averaging about 16,000 per date. The announced tickets sold for tonight's game 26,246, but I would guesstimate a few less than that actually here. Another payoff pitch. Lopez is running. Changeup got him. Good pitch again by Martinez. He records 2 strikeouts in the inning. The Braves strand a runner. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Atlanta 7, Houston 1.
You see the score, bottom of the 5th inning. Don Sutton, Skip Caray with you for the rest of this one. And the Braves, in what is not supposed to be a good hitting park, have been playing long ball tonight, and one of them, a huge one.
Chipper champs that up into singles. He's hitting about 600. He really ripped it. Have I shrunk?
No, I just didn't take my other chair down.
Oh, okay.
There's a look at Chipper. Bottom of the 5th inning, top of the order. Mooten will lead it off. There's a strike from Mercker, and it's 0-1. Mooten, Biggio, and Bagwell. In the great indoors of the Astrodome. Foul away, and it's 0-2. Mercker only with 2 strikeouts. He has walked a couple. Really only one shaky inning, that being in the 2nd when he walked Bell, gave up a couple of hits. Chipper Jones made an error. The Astros did get 1 out of it, but Mercker pitched out of it, getting Wiers and Mouton to finish it. On the ground, backhanded by Jones, long throw, and that's going to pull McGriff off. That will probably be error number 2 of the night on the Braves, both charged to Chipper Jones.
Did he call that a hit?
Yes, he did.
Oh, that's disgraceful.
Now, wait a minute. The Shipley one should have been a hit, and this one, oh, well. Okay.
Now he's just changed it to an E5.
Oh, good. Didn't know it was a multiple choice question.
I didn't either.
Mooten's at first. Here's Biggio. 1 for 1. And he's walked. A strike over the outside corner. Biggio walked in the first. Single and swipe second in the 3rd.
For a moment there, I thought we had traded one of last year's scorers over here.
We replace him with a dandy. Change up and away, and it's 1-1. I have a feeling before the year's over in Atlanta, we're going to get many legal lessons that we may or may not want. But that's another topic for another time. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the air, left center field, hit fairly well. Kelly's there, Grissom's there, off the wall. Extra bases for Biggio. They will hold Mooten at 3rd. Biggio is 2 for 2, and the Astros have something going here in the 5th inning.
He came close to getting this baby out of here. Curveball, it didn't do much. Stayed about belt high.
So Biggio stands at 2nd. Still nobody out. Here's Jeff Bagwell. I think you said it well over there on radio. You know he's going to get hot, but we just hope it starts maybe Monday. Upstairs, 1-0.
Let's hope it's a little longer than that. They come into our place in about 10 days for a weekend series.
Let's make it a week from Monday, though.
Okay.
He's grounded into a double play. Blauser, Lemke to McGriff. And flied to center. He just missed the fly ball to center. Outside, 2-0. Mercker walked Biggio in the 1st and got the double play. Walked Bell and gave up a run. Gave up a single in the 3rd, a single in the 4th. The Astros have had a base runner every inning.
Chases a bad one. It's 2-1.
And when you're slumping, that's the kind of thing that happens. You chase pitches like that.
How many RBIs did he have last year? He had a ton of them, I know.
And then suffered a wrist injury, or would have had more, about a week before the strike.
He had 116 RBIs, 39 homers, hit .368. Show you how things have changed. He is 3 out of 28 with runners in scoring position this year. High in the air, but that's going to stay in the yard. Grissom calls, takes the tag, the throw to the plate. They're not going to get him. And they don't get Biggio going to third. That is some good base running by Biggio. Not a real good play, missing the cutoff man. Heads up base running by the Astros second baseman. It's a sacrifice fly for Bagwell.
Grissom's got a good arm. If he hits the cutoff man here, there's no problem, but he throws it 20 feet up the third base line. Close play at third, but he just did get in there.
And right on top of it, making the right call down there, Ed Rapuano. One gone, Biggio at third. Here's Bell. Fouls it away, and it's 0-1.
Here are the Turtle Wax leaders, National League batting leaders. Bell is third. Larkham is first. Meanwhile, back at the game, here's Don.
Bell has walked and scored, and he's flied to right. He does not get cheated. He has already walked 6 times this year. That may be a... He's had years where he didn't walk that many times. 1-1 to count. You watch this guy. He will take some of the ugliest swings, and you think you've got a book on him. Then you come back with, say, an off-speed pitch in the same spot, and he hits some tee shots. He likes to hit it from alley to alley. Just off the corner, and it's 2-1. Originally with Toronto. He was a part of that multiplayer trade, one of the biggest in recent history, between the Astros and the Padres. Change-up upstairs, it's 3-1. 7-2 is the score. Bell's 26 years old, out of Tampa, Florida. Played on the same Little League team as Gary Sheffield. I bet they scored a lot of runs. On the ground, Chipper Jones has got it. He'll go to first and just barely gets Bell. Biggio scores, give Bell an RBI, and it's a 7-3 ball game.
I don't think he can get rid of this thing. Where is it? Where is it? Now he's got it out of there. But missing the cutoff man, if you get the next out, is going to have cost Atlanta a run here. That runner would have been at second base. Excuse me, Doc.
Craig Shipley is the batter, on an air and fly to center. Line drive to center, another base hit for the guy who has modeled a few uniforms in his major league career. Shipley now up over the 330 mark. He'll stand at first for Mike Sims. Mike Sims is a guy they have been thinking big things for in Houston for a long time. He was drafted back in the middle 80s. Sixth round pick back in about 1985. He was released, signed by the Padres to a minor league contract. Signed by the Pirates to a minor league contract. Released by the Pirates. The Astros signed him to a minor league contract. About a .270 hitter in the minors. Big right-hander, takes a strike at the knees. He has hit as many as 39 homers.
Just saw a shot of Leo Mazzoni. His mother-in-law, Virginia Christopher, celebrated a birthday yesterday. Her nickname is Newty. So happy birthday to you from Leo.
And in lieu of a gift, Leo wanted us to tell you happy birthday. Inside, bounces away. I don't know if Javi Lopez thought that hit him or what. But Shipley ends up at second. Terry Collins is going to come out and ask, did it hit him?
Boy, it hit him right on top of the foot is what it did. Or did it hit the bat? Let's look at it again.
No shoe polish.
It does hit the end of the bat. Every time.
Usually the chalk's right over your head there. 1 ball, 1 strike. And they're starting to stir around down in the Braves bullpen. Steve Bedrosian is taking the wraps off. There's a look at Steve. Changeup bounces up there, and it's 2-1. This is not the way you like to see what was a 6-1 and a 7-1 ball game. This is not what you like to see it turn into.
Yeah, you just don't feel right about this one yet.
You have a ball club that's lost 3 in a row and struggling and had a chance to put them away, but they keep getting breaths of oxygen. Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's ball 3. And Scott Service waits on deck. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. In the air, right side. That's going to curl back into the stands. Justice over to give it a look. And that'll make it 3-2. Well, how do you like the cosmetic changes they have made?
I liked them fine until you told me those were fake flowers. I was all pumped up. I thought they were real nice.
Well, they're still pretty.
Yeah, but they're ursets.
3-2 pitch, line right at Blauser. Braves are lucky to get out of this one without giving up any more. Sims hit it right on the button, but right at Blauser. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left. 5 in the books. It's a 7-3 ball game.
Here's the Budweiser game summary. Kelly is home run. Jones 3 for 3. His home run a monster. And Grissom's had a big night as well.
That's going to be the end of the night for Kent Mercker. He got the old handshake and see you later. And Mike Mordecai is going to pinch hit. We're in the 6th inning. It's a 7-3 ball game. You see Mike's numbers for the year, 1 out of 7. And he will face the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Astros. On the ground, fair ball, could be extra bases, should be extra bases. Mordecai heads for second, and he'll pull in with a leadoff double. Good start in the 6th inning for the Braves.
Just fair. It landed foul, but it crossed the bag fair. That's what's important. And a good start, as Don said.
Top of the order, Marquis Grissom. A double, a homer, and a pop to first. He's 2 out of 3. His average up to 229 and will continue to climb. Just prior to our going on the air, I bumped into Bob Watson, the general manager here, and I know a friend and a favorite of a lot of you and a lot of us. There's a look at the GM. Bob said, "You will not believe the swings Marquis Grissom is going to take against Greg Swindell." He hit that one right on the head. Pitch to Grissom, a strike, and it's 0-1. He said, "I think everything he hits is for extra bases." Well, he came into the game 8 out of 18 with 4 homers. Before Swindell could go, he is now 10 out of 20 with 5 homers and scored 2. A couple of RBIs tonight, up to 13 for the year, and a chance to pick up another one. Upstairs, 1-1. Ten hits for the Braves. Off speed and outside, 2-1. Mercker pretty much filled up every column tonight. 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 3 runs. I believe only one of them was earned. Pitch to Grissom is inside, and it's 3-1. One of them was earned. He had 2 wild pitches. I'm sorry, he didn't hit anybody. He left the column blank. Ken's night is over. Here's the 3-1 to Grissom. On the ground. It won't get him in, but it will get him to third. 4-3 if you're keeping score. Mordecai stands at third. 1 out for Jeff Blauser. Blauser has struck out, singled, and scored, and grounded sharply to shortstop. 1 out of 3 and a 243 for the year. Infield comes in for the Astros. Perhaps you could answer a question for me here, something I have wondered in all your wisdom. Pitch the Blauser inside.
I can't wait.
On AstroTurf, which is about twice as fast as grass. Why do you bring them in the same spot you would on grass?
Habit.
Great answer and the most accurate one you could give. The 1-0 to Blauser. Misses inside, and it's 2-0.
And you're right, because it really gives the hitter an even bigger advantage than he has on the regular surface.
2 balls and no strikes. Mordecai the runner at third. He got the leadoff double. Grissom advanced him. 2 balls and a strike.
Something new here. They've added bullpen benches. They've never had those before.
I don't remember seeing those down there. Usually everybody's sat in the dugout. There you know what? This is used to be an unfriendly ballpark to hitters because of the dimensions in the outfield, but it's been hitter friendly because you have no foul territory. Everything whacked up into the air is going to go into the seats. Blauser doesn't get it. It's 2-2. Extra swings for the hitters. Contrast that to a ballpark like Atlanta, more like Oakland. The Oakland Coliseum, if you've ever seen it on TV, acres of real estate. And they've cut down some of that with the new luxury boxes here.
They're right behind home plate. Those are the folks in tall cotton.
Yeah, that's taken about 12, 15 feet of foul territory away. Right there in that area. Former President George Bush has a box down there. Outside, 3-2. This has turned into a nibble affair for pitchers. And it's another 3-ball, 2-strike count. Payoff pitch to Blauser. Inside corner. That'll do it. Twice Blauser has struck out looking. That's a 3rd strikeout for Martinez.
And that keeps that runner out there. He thought it was inside, and it looked like it was, but pretty close, though.
I like that shot.
Do you? I don't like it at all.
I like it when you have a controversial pitch like that.
Reminds me of those blimps.
That's 28 strikeouts for Jeff Blauser this year. 2 gone. Here's Chipper Jones. He's had a perfect night. A couple of singles, a home run, and boy, was it ever a home run. Chipper's average all the way up to 286. 2 more RBIs, 23. That's tops on the club. Outside, 2-0.
Boy, a bunt would be a pretty good idea down that third baseline, wouldn't it?
Didn't he try that the other night with in St. Louis with everybody back? Almost pulled it off. See up above the orange there? Up in there where it's a weird shade of purple? Right in there, in that neighborhood, that's some high rent district. That's where he hit it. 3-0. This may be one of those intentional, unintentional.
I bet he's got the hit privilege. Bobby turns him loose.
Is there another manager that does that more than Bobby Cox?
Not in this league. I don't know about the other one.
We shall soon know. He was taken. Ball 4. Second walk issued by Martinez. They're at the corners for the left-handed hitting Fred McGriff.
Long one here. We'd have Martinez on the rocks.
That's right, Skip.
That's what makes you one of the best announcers in the business. Lines like that.
What was that crash course you gave me my first night here? You told me I'd have to remember 3 words to be successful here. McGriff is 1 out of 3. Grounded to the pitcher, struck out, and double. There's ball 1 inside.
Those 3 words were actually 4, and they were, "I'll take the check."
Now that's the graduate course. McGriff at 250 on the nose. Hammered to right field. The average is going to climb. The RBIs are going to climb. Here comes Mordecai. Chipper Jones will stop at third. It's a rocket shot single for McGriff. A little more insurance. It's an 8-3 ball game. 2 RBIs tonight for Fred McGriff.
Boy, he hits the ball hard when he hits it. This one's so hard that he can't get to second base. Sims did a good job. If that ball gets away from him a couple steps, another run scores.
Doherty starts to throw in their bullpen. Still 2 outs. Still at the corners. And here's David Justice. David hitless tonight. He has drawn a walk. Curveball stays upstairs.
Speaking of Doherty, he was in the bullpen early. One of the really strange situation. Bases loaded, 1 out. They let their pitcher hit way down in the game, and he struck out. Mercker got out of the inning without any further damage. It was a bases loaded, 1 out spot.
Inside, 2-0. 1 through 4 in the batting order have base hits. 7, 8, and 9 have hits, but 5 and 6, Justice and Lopez, have reached on walks or errors. So it's been a night when everybody's gotten their exercise. 11 hits all total. Doesn't get the off-speed pitch, and it's 2-1.
Well, those Reds are tough. They just got 3 runs in the 6th. They lead the Cardinals 4-3. They were down 3-0.
We'll give you all the scores on our Delta scoreboard a little bit later on.
Here Dion popped off again today or yesterday, said he didn't think the Braves would, he was really looking forward to the playoffs, hopefully against the Braves, but he didn't think the Braves would make it. Bitter young man.
That's sad, isn't it? To be that talented, to be that bitter. In the air to left field, pretty deep. Mouton got it. So the Braves come away with 1 here in the 6th inning. 1 run on 2 hits. They leave a couple stranded. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's now an 8-3 Braves lead. He's no Uncle Willie, but that's the Astros resident cheerleader. He is called Batty Bob, and it fits. He has been here for a long time. Just proves that Ginger and Gilligan had a kid. Here's Steve Bedrosian. You see Steve's record?
He is rooting for a team that's appropriately named in his case.
Service leads it off, fouls away the first one. He's 1 out of 2. Orlando Miller waits on deck. And in the pitcher's spot, Pretty good chance we'll see a pinch hitter here. 8-3. Breaking ball misses. 1-1. On the ground, chance for Blauser. Throws quickly, gets service. 1 out for Orlando Miller. Miller came into this ballgame hitting just over .230, but he's picked up a couple of base hits, pushed his average up into the .250. One of the reasons there's such a small crowd here tonight, the Rockets lead the series 2-0. Game 3 is being played. What do they call it? The Summit here?
Yeah.
Just around a couple of miles around, and you see the Rockets are leading it. Milt Thompson. Forgot he was even here.
He's on deck to pinch hit.
Chases a bad one, and it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's Milt. Started his career with the Braves. In the air, right center, pretty deep. Grissom going, and got it. So Bedrosian sets down the first 2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and here comes Milt Thompson. The announcement just being made. Milt off to a slow start. No balls and a strike. As a pinch hitter, he's only 1 out of 13.
He was involved in the first trade Bobby Cox made as general manager of the team. He and Bedrosian went to Philadelphia. Pete Smith and Ozzie Virgil came to Atlanta. Advantage Philly on that trade.
During the winter meetings in 1985. Well, his traveling partner has him 1-2 now. He split the year last year between Philadelphia and Houston. Hit .273 for the Phils, .286. He's a lifetime .280 hitter. Pretty good hitter. In the dirt, 2-2.
Big Charlotte Hornets fan.
Bedrosian wins this one. Good inning for Steve. He sets down Service, Miller, and Thompson. We have played 6. As we move to the 7th inning, the Braves lead it 8-3. To the 7th we go, and here to tell you all about it, Skip Caray.
Okay, thank you, Don. Javi Lopez, the batter. Jim Doherty on to pitch. And the right-hander's side-arming effort is inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Doherty 1-0 with 3.94 earned run average. This is his 13th appearance. The league hitting .228 against him. Makes his home in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. And the count evens at a ball and a strike. Pitched at the University of North Carolina. Remember when hitters would, or pitchers would never wear glasses? Hitters either, for that matter. It was almost like it wasn't manly. Now you see a lot of guys with either glasses or contact lenses.
I always thought being able to see was quite
probably helpful. The umpires were the same way years ago. Chop toward third. He has to wait. Catcher running. Close. Got it. 1 out. Javi thought he might have beaten it. Lopez is retired. 1 away.
Let's have a look at our Aflac trivia question. The only pitcher to win the Cy Young as an Astro. There have been some pretty good ones here. J.R. Richard, Joe Niekro, Nolan Ryan was here. Mike Scott was here.
Mike Kelly is the batter. He has a 2-run homer and 2 strikeouts. Did you win it here?
No, I never won it. I never got a sniff.
Then it must have been Mike Scott. Strike is called.
Yes, I did. I finished second one year to Randy Jones.
Here's another guy that couldn't break a pane of glass, and all he did was get you out.
I think that year he won 22 ball games for the San Diego Padres, which would have been about 1976.
And would have been about close to half their wins in those years. 1-2, the count to Kelly. Greg McMichael tuning up in the Atlanta bullpen. Kelly is out on strikes for the 3rd time tonight. So Doherty gets 2 in a hurry. And the strikeout really a bugaboo for Kelly.
Skip, we have seen Brad Klontz get hit a few times trying to throw that pitch. Did you see there with Doherty? It was not a pitch that came up and out over the plate. He is able to get a little downward tilt on that breaking ball, and the longer Klontz pitches, the more that he learns, the more you'll see him starting to get that tilt. That's very effective.
53 at bats, 21 strikeouts for Mike Kelly.
Too many.
I'll say. And nobody knows it more than he does. But if he can hit a 2-run homer every night, it doesn't really matter. 0-1 the count.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You've got to be able to hit 35, 40 home runs. You can take that kind of ratio or that many strikeouts. Rob Deere did it a lot. There have been a lot of guys who hit a ton of home runs, but you've got to produce runs if you're going to strike out half the time.
1-1 pitch outside, 2-1. Bedrosian has a bat on deck. McMichael is in the bullpen, so I don't know what's happening here. Throw to first, inning over. Doherty gets him in a hurry. 1-2-3, bottom half of the 7th inning. With your score, Braves 8, Astros 3.
Here's a look at the score. A reminder what the Aflac trivia question was. Who's the only pitcher to win the Cy Young as an Astro? Did you say? If you did, you were right.
Mike Gott was the guy who won it, and we go to the bottom of the 7th.
That was Jim Gott.
Oh, that's right. James Mouton leads off, and the pitch is low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 8:20 left in the 3rd. The Rockets lead the Spurs 66-60 in NBA playoff action on our sister station TNT. Didn't mean to. Right back where it came from. 1 out. So Bedrosian has set down 4 in a row, and Biggio the batter. Congratulations to the gang on TNT and on TBS. The ratings are higher and better than ever. Great year of basketball.
Congratulations to Doug Collins, too.
Yeah, I tried to reach him today. Left him a message. They're staying at a hotel right across the street from us.
Probably the best basketball analyst in the country, and now going to get a shot at coaching. Wish him well.
If it's not him, it's Hubie Brown.
Kind of hard to pick, isn't it?
0-1 the count. Biggio has singled, doubled, and walked, so he's had a perfect night. Jeff Bagwell on deck. Boy, he's got a nasty split finger pitch going tonight. 0-2.
And putting it in good spots. He's starting it out right at the bottom of the strike zone and then breaking it down below the strike zone.
Steve's struggled lately. It's good to see him pitching like this. Just a little bit outside.
Well, I think he got a boost yesterday from being able to design Brad Klontz's traveling wardrobe.
Oh, that was funny. High pop. Is there room for McGriff and Lopez? There is. Fred has it, 2 down. And Klontz was great. He took it like a champion.
Green shoes, the kind
Platform shoes.
Platform
1960s
shoes.
hippie shoes.
Fire engine red pants. A tie that was uglier than the one I own. And a red and white striped soda bender's jacket.
Looked like a barbershop quartet singer. Here's Jeff Bagwell. On the corner, 0-1. Bagwell is wrapped into a double play, has flied to center, and he's hit a sacrifice fly.
In that outfit, you and I would have looked a lot taller.
I would have looked like the Queen Mary. The 0-1. It's low, a ball and a strike.
Where are our cameras when that stuff? That's the kind of stuff we got to get some of that. Have to ask Bedrock when he's going to do that again.
Just missed, 2-1. Derek Bell waits on deck. There are 2 out in the inning. 8-3 Atlanta is our score. Three balls and a strike.
He didn't get the call there, but that was a good job of catching that ball by Javi Lopez. He caught it right in the webbing and kept the catcher's mitt over the corner.
On the corner.
Just like that. You see where the heel of the mitt was? It had the corner of the plate, and he's catching it out there. That's like expanding the strike zone. A lot of umpires will see it catch the mitt. Watch where the mitt is, and the ball is just a touch outside.
He got him. High smoke, and the inning is over. Bagwell out on strikes. Bedrosian records his second strikeout. We move on to the 8th inning. So far, so good. It's 8-3 Atlanta. Dwight Smith pinch hits for Steve Bedrosian and takes it outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Dwight has been our pinch hitter deluxe. He's hitting .366 on the year, including a grand slam pinch hit homer to win a game in Atlanta against the Marlins. 2-0 the count. That was off Rob Nen, wasn't it? He got his first save today as the Marlins beat the Cubs. Line drive, another hit for Smith. Well, he just keeps doing it. So a good start to the 8th inning.
Let's take a look at the Delta scoreboard. First, the National League. Here's that game you were talking about. The Florida Marlins won it. Rapp got the win and got sent out right afterwards. Montreal is has beaten up on L.A. Philadelphia behind Mims. He's now 3-1. Pittsburgh wins that one. Wagner the winner, his first of the year. San Francisco by 2 over New York as they wrap that one up. And Cincinnati has come back. They have scored 3 in the 7th to lead that one. We'll give you the American League in a minute.
Dwight Smith hit that grand slam home run off Richie Lewis. It was Chipper Jones who hit the home run off Nen, but he still did get his first save today. Grissom 2 out of 4. A ball and a strike. Dean Hartgraves, the left-hander, in the bullpen. The 1-1 to Marquis. Chased the back ball. Hit that one right off his front foot. 1-2 the count. Jeff Blauser on deck, then Dwight, rather than Chipper Jones. Chopper to third. Out there. They won't even bother to throw. So Grissom is at first with 1 out as he hits into a fielder's choice. Don, why don't you do the Delta American League scoreboard?
I believe I will. Tim Raines' home run, the difference in that ball game for Chicago. Cleveland had 5 homers, 4 of them solo shots. Texas by 2. Mickey Tettleton's homer, the difference in that one. Kansas City is winning. Apier is going to 5-1. Rest of the scoreboard looks like this. The Yankees have struck first. Boston and California just underway. Likewise, Baltimore at Seattle.
Would you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
Don't say has struck. We've had enough strikes.
Oh, okay.
the stretch. And the pitch is hit to third again. Go to second. Close. He's out. He's not. Another 5-4 fielder's choice. So a runner at first with 2 down. And here's Chipper. He hit one into the second deck a little earlier in the game. And he has a perfect night going. 3 out of 3, 2 RBIs. He's also walked.
Pounced upon them first.
There you go. And we're going to have to start saying that pitch is what is called other than a ball.
This is the second dramatic change I've had to make since coming here.
What was the first one? He said, knowing he shouldn't have asked.
An international object in his eye.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
He's applying an international substance to the ball.
Now, you should know about that.
Nope. Everything I use is made right here in the U.S.
The pitch. Low and outside. 8-3 our score. We are in the 8th. The Braves had a 5-run, 6-hit second inning. Kelly and Grissom had 2-run homers in that frame. Chipper Jones hit a homer later. Blauser probably won't be running in this spot. I don't really know why they're throwing over there. Chipper now with 7 homers, 23 runs driven in. Low and away, 2-0. His average is up to 286. And he is a bona fide candidate for Rookie of the Year. Three and 0. Let's see if they roll the dice. Taking all the way, but it was outside. So 2 are on with 2 out.
22nd walk he's drawn. Skip, that leads the club.
And that's good for a young player too. And that might be all for Mr. Doherty. Terry Collins is on his way to the mound, and he's going to go to the left-hander. Dean Hartgraves will come into the game. Doherty goes out, and we'll be back after this.
Next is Lady. Exceptional sheen. Oh, very good color. Prince. Hands.
Oh, such stateliness, such majesty.
Larry. Larry!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
The best of show? Mort!
Dean Hartgraves out of Fresno State University has no record, a high earned run average. 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 1 home run ball, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. League hitting .238 against him. Last year at Tucson he was 7-2, 3 saves, but a high earned run average 5.07. He's out of Bakersfield, California, makes his home now in Central Point, Oregon. And he'll face Fred McGriff, who's had a pretty good night. McGriff has doubled in a run, struck out, singled in a run. They're at first and second with 2 down. At last report, the Rockets and Spurs were tied at 66 with about 6 minutes left in the third quarter. I have to laugh now that rightfully so TNT promotes the fact that NBC is doing games, and NBC promotes the fact that TNT is doing games. When I used to do that, I got in all sorts of trouble because it was my idea. Now it makes you a hero. Funny how things work out. Different regimes will do that. First pitch to McGriff is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Curve drill center field. Did he get enough? Bell going back? No, he didn't. Just missed that, baby. And the inning is over. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 8-3 Atlanta. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 8-3 is our score. Greg McMichael on the pitch. I was talking to our coordinating producer of Braves baseball today, Glenn Diamond, and he said to me that baseball was like a summer-long soap opera. To which I replied that Susan Lucci on All My Children doesn't have to give the leaderboard right in the middle of the story. You can see the Max first pitch performance has not been so hot. And Derek Bell leads it off.
And he's a guy who loves to jump on the first pitch.
0-1 the count. Laurie Brooks celebrates a birthday today. We wish her many happy returns. How many, Laurie? Mighty quiet in the truck. 0-2. Bell was not thrilled with that call. Got him. Fastball outside corner. Bell didn't like that one either. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. And Craig Shipley is the batter. Well, I got some bad news today as you look at the replay here from Joe Simpson talking with Bob Watson. Sid Bream's father passed away yesterday. He was a wonderful gentleman, and our sympathies, all of us, our sympathies to the Bream family.
Yeah, we got to know him well when Sid was here and enjoyed our time with him.
And I can't believe that Sid's not somewhere right now, the way he can hit. Into the dirt, and the count evens. Shipley's reached on an air, fly to center, and singled. There's a strike. 2-1 the count.
He's a guy who keeps trading uniforms, and he's a .270 hitter in the big leagues.
Upstairs, getting a little bit of a chance to play over here.
4 years in San Diego, 275, 248, 235, over 300 last year. He was a part of that multiplayer trade.
He corks that one to center. Grissom turns tail, still going. Whoa, what a play. He makes it look so easy. That was an extremely difficult play, but he's like Henry Aaron in that regard. He just sort of glides around.
You see so many guys, Skip, who just go tearing out there, try to get to it. He's got a bead on the ball. He has a sense for where the wall is, and he just glides under it. He doesn't try to kick it into gear the last couple of steps and make it look like a spectacular catch, nor does he run to the wall and come back to it. He just has a sense. It's almost like he has radar when he goes after it.
Luis Gonzalez comes on to pinch hit. He's hitting .265, 3 homers, 15 RBI. This guy's a pretty good ball player. Has trouble with left hand. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. 2 out in the 8th. Low again. 2-0. Gonzalez .273 a year ago, a .300 hitter 2 seasons back. He's out of South Alabama University. Just missed 3-0. There's the strike. Gonzalez knew it. 3-1. Another right-hander in the bullpen for the Astros. And he wants him. Scott Service, the scheduled hitter. Now he will be called back, and Dave Magadan, it looks like, will come out and pinch hit for him.
That's John Hudek warming up in the bullpen. And talking about good guys who can hit, there's Hudek. Having Magadan is a real plus for these guys. He can play a number of positions. He is normally a very good hitter and a good guy. Yeah, the Astros getting a lot of Alabama, South Alabama people, aren't they? Shifters from Alabama.
Magadan. This guy, yeah. I think they were teammates over there. Magadan for the year. Hitting .271, a homer, 9 RBI. His only problem, he's a fine hitter. His only problem is he's a first and third baseman and he doesn't have a whole lot of power.
Right. That stereotype according to the book.
Low, 1 ball, no strikes.
But you know, there are some very successful guys playing. Wally Joyner with Kansas City. Mark Grace.
Hal Morris, really not a power hitter.
Just depends on what organization you fit into and if they're getting offensive output from another position.
There goes the runner, line, and thanks to the runner going, it's an out. Blauser ran right into that line drive as he hustled over to cover second. Thank you. Inning over, no hits, no runs, no errors, 1 left. We go to the 9th inning. It is 8-3 Atlanta.
This is what Memorial Day weekend looks like, feels like, sounds like on TBS. Racing.
The Red Dog 300. The Coca-Cola 600.
Wrestling.
WCW live from Charlotte.
Special events.
Speed Street 95.
This is Memorial Day weekend on TBS. Beginning 1 Eastern Saturday. Turn to TBS.
It's a big weekend of auto racing here on TBS. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, the Red Dog 300. Then on Sunday at 4:30, Jeff Gordon. He's going to set the pole position for the Coca-Cola 600. Live from Charlotte, North Carolina. NASCAR action all this weekend right here on TBS.
Tony Eusebio is now the catcher. Gonzalez is in left field. And Mouton moves to right. Justice leads off the 9th against Dean Hartgraves. You asked me an interesting question over on radio about automobile racing.
Why don't they have one in Atlanta?
No,
285, not that one?
No, you said, why don't they use their blinkers? And I said, because they keep burning them out. They keep turning left.
Turns,
they just
that's
keep
right.
turning left.
They do. They drive fast and don't use their... Kind of like BMW owners.
Well, no, it's kind of like being on 285. You drive fast and don't use your blinker. 2 balls and a strike. Mark Wohler's in the Atlanta bullpen. Popped foul back and out of play. 2-2. You know, in the 1990 season, Braves were 0-9 in the Astrodome. Since then, they have gone 23-5.
Really?
And they're winning tonight, Don.
That'd make them 24-5, wouldn't it?
Right back to Braves. 1 out.
You gotta smile.
It's supposed to be fun. Here's Javi Lopez. He has a 5-game hitting streak at stake here. They go to the 9th in St. Louis. The Reds lead at 4-3. They just keep winning. Phillies won again tonight. Shut out the Padres, as Don told you. Strike to Lopez. Mike Kelly is next. We'll be back with you tomorrow night. John Smoltz against Doug Drabeck. Good play. Off balance throw. Nicely done by 52 down.
That's another thing. We're talking about Shipley. Not only is he a pretty darn decent hitter, but he may have gotten hit with that same bug we were talking about with Magadan. Not a power guy, but he can play some third base. He'll play all 4 of the infield positions if you ask him to. He will play third and short very well.
We'll be with you again at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Eastern Time. Kelly fouls it back. 0-1. 8-3 Atlanta. That's our score. If you promise to patronize our sponsors, you may walk your canine and be with us tomorrow night. Let up outside. What do we got going on after the game? Is it one of those scary movies?
Is it Squiggle? Is it
Squirm? House of Blues. What's that? Is that a music show? It is a music show. House of Blues is after the game. What happened to the Friday night scary movie? Oh well, it may have been gone 10 years ago. I don't know. Pop foul back and out of play. One and two the count. Broadcast the games, program the station. It's tough.
You're a multifaceted person.
Yes, I am. Kelly strikes out again. He has the golden sombrero. 4 strikeouts in the game. And the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is 8-3 Atlanta. That may. We're back? Is that what you said, Scott? Oh, the monitor just went off. We go to the bottom of the 9th in any event, and Orlando Miller will lead it off. You see the line score on the game. It will be Miller, and then Chris Donalds will come out and pinch it, and then the top of the order, and James Mouton will hit against the new Atlanta pitcher, Mark Wohlers. McMichael went an inning, issued a walk, struck out a batter. For Wohlers, it's been getting better. Orlando Miller, 2 out of 3. He's out of Panama. Oh, he doesn't look like he could cover the outside corner. He must really dive into the ball. Wohlers into the wind and the pitch. Strike right through there. 0-1.
This progress is one of the reasons the Astros thought they could add Andujar Cedeno to that package and make that multiplayer trade with San Diego.
Nobody on, nobody out. Braves trying to close the deal here in the 9th inning. Upstairs with a breaking ball. It's 1-1. It's a final now. Cincinnati beat the Cardinals 4-3. Cincinnati is red hot. Good breaking ball. He missed that a foot. 1-2. Wohlers does not qualify for a save here. But what you look for from him is consistency, and he appears to be. He's had 4 or 5 good outings in a row. If he throws strikes with his stuff, he's going to be effective. There's the first one in the 9th. And Chris Donalds comes out to hit.
Looks like he went to the slider here. Put it in a good spot right on the outside corner.
Donalds 5 out of 13, a .385 average. He's a much traveled player. 2 out of 4 as a pinch hitter. Mouton on the top of the order would be next. So all the other National League Baseball is history on this night. The Phillies have won. The Braves have kept pace. Montreal has kept pace. Florida beat the Cubs 5-3. Phillies over the Padres 2-0. Pirates over Colorado 4-2. Montreal 9-4 over Los Angeles. Giants beat the Mets 6-4. And as we said, the Reds beat the Cards 4-3. And here it's 8-3 Atlanta in the 9th, and a count of 2-0 on Chris Donalds.
Mark Wohlers' best pitch is his fastball. It hits the high 90s, but it seems like his bugaboo is he has been unable to throw it for strikes as consistently as he has the breaking ball.
He knew a fastball was coming on a 2-0 count in this spot and still couldn't catch up to it.
Had no chance of catching up to it. When he's throwing well, he uses the front side, that left side to pull. When he isn't throwing well, the left arm in the glove just kind of flopped down. Let's see if he pulls with it here.
That ball's well hit to right. Justice won't get it. It drops for a hit. So Donalds continues his good work with the bat, and the Astros have a hope. Runner at first, one out, and Mouton the batter.
Here's a look at the delivery. It is a good delivery. He just threw a fastball where he was swinging. See that front side get out of the way? Most successful power pitchers use that left elbow almost like a gun sight and pull themselves out of the way. Mark has a tendency just to kind of let it flop. So he's really, when he's not throwing well, he's only using half of his equipment.
I'm not talking about the money and all that stuff, Don, but wouldn't you enjoy, if everything else was equal, being a pitching coach? I'm serious.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the teaching part and trying to figure out, I think at the major league level, your biggest job is helping guys remember what they did when they did it well.
To get there, huh?
Yeah, at the major league level, it's not a matter of, you should not have to teach a guy to pitch at the big league level.
But you sometimes do, don't you?
Yeah, I think that what we've gotten to now, you have to. I think there is too much sports shrinking. There's too much sports psychology involved now, where I think a number of times we allow guys to stay the same way and go have them in meetings and tell them, hey, it's okay, you're fine the way you are. When it's not okay. There should be changes to move forward. That's how you rate a guy's progress, not how good is he when he got here, but how good has he become.
Look out. Stick save by Wohlers as Mouton strikes out. He was a little bit overmatched on that at bat. 2 down. And the last hope is Craig Biggio.
Good breaking ball here. Watch this spot. Big swing and get up, Mark. Pitch wasn't nearly as exciting as that little tap dance to get out of the way.
Mark's a big hockey fan, and he got a little skate on that one.
But I would think, Skip, teaching and seeing somebody make the next step, go from where they are to someplace better, would be your greatest reward as a pitching coach.
Again, all things being equal, would it be more fun teaching young kids in the minors or
much more
major leaguers? I think so too.
Much more. I'll tell you why. Because they're more receptive to learning. You run into a lot of guys here who already think they have the answers or are reluctant to listen. But minor leagues, everybody's aiming for the same things. Big leaguers are already here. I think you got to do a better job of convincing them to listen.
There's a strike right in there. 1-1. Biggio has walked, singled, doubled, and popped out.
Toughest part, I think, is realizing that there are 10 different ways to do it if you have a 10-man pitching staff, and remembering what each guy does differently and not trying to ram everybody into one way of doing it.
I remember when Rick Mailer is a pitcher, and he's now a pitching instructor in the Cardinals organization. But he told me one time, he says, really confusing because we had both Johnny Sain and Bob Gibson, and they both had separate philosophies. He said, you know, one guy says to do this, and the other guy suggested you do that. And I said, you're looking at the thing backwards, Rick. I said, rather than make a conflict out of it, take from each of them what helps you.
Best piece of advice I think I ever got when I got to the big league was given me to Sandy Koufax. He said, you're a youngster, you should listen to everybody. He said, so you do that to be courteous, but he said, if you want to stay here, pick only that fits you.
That's right. And that's sometimes hard for kids, I guess. Right in there, full count, 3-2.
I think a lot of guys, a lot of it has to do with personality, too. There are a lot of people pleasers. Their personality, so they feel like they've got to try everything, and they don't want to offend anything. And there are some coaches who will hold it over your head. This is my way of doing it. You want to pitch here, you'll do it my way, which is not fair.
My way or the highway.
That's why you see guys change organizations and all of a sudden blossom sometimes.
And that's why you see pitching coaches change organizations sometimes too.
Yep.
Sometimes you just need a fresh outlook, I guess.
Exactly.
The payoff pitch to Biggio. Bagwell is next. Runner goes. So does the ball into foul territory, and we'll have it to do all over again.
See, I've always felt your best teachers. If I ran an organization, I would pay whatever it took to get the best teachers to teach those guys who are coming out of high school and out of college that you draft and pay a lot of money. You want to hand them to the best teachers. At this level, you just need guys to help them remember.
There goes the runner, and there's another foul back. Almost the identical spot, 3-2. And Donalds trots back to first. Bagwell would be next if Biggio reaches. Bowler's bidding to strike out the side here. Foul back again. He's just throwing fastballs, trying to get him up and away, but making sure he gets him in the strike zone.
There he gets it up and away. There's a pretty good chance it's going to be an out in this yard. They have shortened the numbers on the fence. 375 to the alleys, 400 to center, but it is still a very difficult place to hit one out at normally. Well, you ask the Braves hitters, they wouldn't agree with you. 3 for the Braves tonight.
Fouled back again. Donalds is getting his running in, if nothing else. That's the 4th time he's made the turn and trotted back to first.
That time he didn't even bother to step on the bag and stop. He just hung a U-turn and used it to pivot on.
Looked like he was an
It's interesting.
IndyCar driver.
In the rule book, it says you're supposed to go tag up after a foul ball. He didn't, but there's no penalty if you don't.
This time he touches the base, and he and Blauser exchange words. And
stay with him and see if he tags up. No, he didn't.
I'm sure Donald said something like, "You got to be kidding me."
You know why guys run with gloves in their hands like he's doing?
So they don't strain their fingers when they slide into a base.
Exactly. It keeps the hands clenched and fists together so the fingers are not extended.
Ryan Klesko does it now after that little set-to in Florida. Another 3-2 pitch.
This is a part of the new program to make the fans happier. That's 7 foul balls going into the stands with 7 different people getting souvenirs.
Blauser's in hysterics at shortstop. Donalds may enter in that Red Dog 300 the way he's going here.
He's got the left turns down, Pat. Just for fun, he ought to slide on this one.
Strike 3 call, fastball, and he does strike out the side. And the ball game is over, and the Braves get it started in good fashion here as they beat the Astros by an 8-3 score, and the Atlanta team has now won 9 of their last 11 games.
Good night for Chipper Jones. He is our AutoZone player of the game. A perfect night, as a matter of fact. Couple singles, couple walks, 3 for 3, a home run. Take a look at this home run. Batting from the left side, full extension. This baby had altitude and it had longitude. Look where that thing went, up in the purple. Good night for Chipper. Good night all the way around. The Braves win it 8-3. And after we take this time out, we'll come back and put a lid on it.